Hey, what's up, what's up, what's up, what's up? A gracious good Monday morning to you good people. It is Monday, June 9th, and it's 3:37 in the a.m. And I've had a series of experiences this morning. I've had a coughing jag. I've had a runny nose. My voice is going in and out. Allergies are kicking my butt. I just sneezed and, eyeballs shot out the socket kind of deal. Yeah. You guys know what I'm talking about if you suffer from allergies. Anywho, my hair is a hot mess. And I'm going to tell you why my hair is a hot mess. I decided to wash my hair this weekend, and I don't know how much shampoo I decided to put in the palm of my hand, but must have been a lot. Because I had to get back in the shower about 3 times to rinse all the suds out. You know, as I got out the first time to powder and pamper, I started combing my hair. And I heard squish, squish, squish. So I parted my hair, tons of suds. Again, I had to get in and out of the shower 3 times. So I had to put a lot of shampoo in my hair. I must have in order to garner that amount of suds. Anywho, you can see all the gray in my hair now. Yay. Actually, I do mean yay because I know it's a privilege to age. Anywho, so this weekend, again, wash the hair. Yesterday, I brushed my hair and put a do-rag on and spent the better part of the day in the do-rag to let my hair dry naturally. Woke up this morning, had minimal waves, didn't put enough product in my hair to hold the waves in place, so I could feel curls just pinging up. So I decided to wet my hair and comb it. Now, let me show you the comb that I had to work with this morning. Okay, now, comb the size of my hand. So now you understand why my hair is a hot mess, correct? All right. Now let me get into the business of the day. So this weekend, I had a lot of self-induced stress. One related to my little cottage business and a rush order that I finally told the person I can't fulfill because you want it too soon, and it's just me and my little cottage industry, and I have other people ahead of you, and I'm trying to come up with some new designs, so I'm on the computer constantly on my time off. That part. So that I'm still waiting to see if the person still wants the order. Then the second thing that happened, it started on Friday, and it just worried me to no end over the weekend. It took me forever to figure it out, but I finally figured it out. And, it was almost a $700 mistake. Some credit company or credit collection company bought some old information. I mean, really old information. And this credit collections place called me on Friday, and they were just kind of strong-arming me. And they said, well, we'll send you a settlement letter, if you pay XYZ amount. I said, I'm not paying you. I don't know who you are. So they sent me some information that there's no notarizing on it. There's no actual real information that's traceable to the creditor that they say I owe. I haven't dealt with who they say I owe in, I want to say, about 30 years. So I know it's not on my credit report. I check my credit report. I check my credit report consistently, trying to make up for the wreckage of my youth. So, no, you're not on there. No, I'm not paying you. So this person is expecting a payment today. No, that ain't happening. You can't tell me who I owe. And you got this vague information. You can't even tell me where you're located, because the address that you gave me, So no. Give me some more detailed information, maybe I'll pay you. So that bothered me all weekend. So yeah, dealing with stuff from your youth. And I can't say I'm that young in this situation, but that's irresponsible. How about that? I'll take ownership of irresponsibility. But I know this thing that they're calling about is well over 30 years old. So, and for those of you who don't know, credit history for charge-offs in this state is 4 years. You're calling me for 7 times that? Almost 8? Maybe even 8? Okay. Let me not go there. So, I'm chillaxing over this weekend. And I'm scrolling, just having a high old time scrolling. Some videos I'm up in the wee hours, hence the bags under my eyes, cracking up at the comments, at the videos. And that was the case last night. But I think it was Saturday, I came across a video of a sister, I believe she's seeking, and she's seeking women, because a lot of her videos start off, Dear Future Wife. Now, I'm caught in her algorithm, and I find her videos quite refreshing most of the time. But this particular video, this particular statement, I had to comment. I know I'm a voyeur on some levels when it comes to TikTok, but I had to comment because it was a little off kilter for me. And it perpetuates something that needs to be really addressed. It's nice to think that we have these notebook type romance kind of relationships. But this particular sister stated that she's talking to, I guess, her hypothetical partner. She says, I will make it a point to kiss you in front of a person that you think likes me. So, in other words, there's this public display of affection to let this other individual know that you're taken. And at first I thought, hey, oh, wow, that's romantic. And I know a whole bunch of other folks took it as romance. But as I thought about it, it's like, I'm thinking about my situation where, I was damaged. I mean, seriously undone by this particular individual. And I'm going to tell you the instance. Somebody from the past was entertained. I don't know for how long. But they all of a sudden showed up to have lunch. Now, this particular individual, as the story unfolded, I was told, lived in Southern California. This particular individual, I was told, knows all about me. Now, I knew nothing of this particular individual, mind you. This particular individual was never mentioned, but they knew all about me. So that let me know you had some conversation. Okay. So when I was told, we had lunch, I said, I don't know whether I should be a little bit jealous. Person said, look at me. Look in my eyes. This is what they said to me. I would never, huh? How'd this individual know all about me? You had been entertaining a conversation. I knew nothing about this particular individual. Now, you claim not to have a whole lot of friends and contacts and connections. I've observed that. So I knew that to be a truth. But now all of a sudden this person pops up. As I got to the whole story, the thing that you would never you had already done. Then, as I read that, I'm telling the person, yes, that sounds nice, but one, that's addressing an insecurity in that individual, that hasn't been worked on. Two, this over-the-top gesture could be an indication that you are interested and you haven't really addressed that, because you could be sending a signal, see what you're missing. And three, are you prepared to stick and stay with the individual that's had damage done to them, knowing that this may always be an issue for them, depending on the level of damage? See, what seems like a romantic notion could also be gas on some flames that haven't been addressed. We need to think about dynamics and do some deep thinking about what we're prepared to do in relationship situations. For me, that's the bottom line. Yeah, so what seems like a romantic gesture, could be, a flag for some deeper issues that need healing, that need to be addressed. And that's all I'm saying. How do your relationships really look? I know what we say, but I also know what we do.